Quest 3 is an amazing headset, and so is Quest 3S. Quest 3 in particular is probably the best one that you can get for the money, but it's not perfect, and it can be quite tricky to get it to do what you want it to do. So here's the 5 things that few people know about Quest 3 before they buy it, something you should know too. The first one is games are expensive and deals are rare. One thing that many people don't realize and they don't think about when they're buying Quest 3 is just how pricey VR games can be. Decent games range from $10 and all the way to $50 or more depending on the actual game and its popularity. For example, some story-driven games that only last a couple of hours can cost $20. Another thing on the Quest store is that it is not as generous with discounts as platforms like Steam, and sales can be hard to come by. So unless you plan carefully, your library can get expensive. There's 2 solutions to this. The first one is MetaQuest Plus subscription service, which gives you access to quite a few VR games, and I'm personally not a fan of subscription-based models, but it is a pretty good way to start and figure out which VR games you actually like. The good news is that if you have a Quest 3, you'll get 1 month of Quest Plus for free, or if you buy a Quest 3S, you can get 3 months for free. And you can always just cancel it before it renews, and in that time, you can explore all these games and walk away without spending extra. Now, this next secret, Meta will not advertise, and this is SideQuestVR.com. Their website is a discovery platform for all VR games, and it features deal section on the homepage with some exclusive discount codes. These discounts are often not available anywhere else, so you can bookmark this website. Even inside your Quest browser, you can just go there, browse the deals on that site, copy the code right there with your controller, then open the game. You'll be redirected to the Meta store where you can paste the code during the checkout and you'll get this instant discount. It is a simple trick that makes building your library a little bit more affordable. So if you're looking to avoid paying full price for VR games, then just check out this deals page often, and maybe sometimes you'll find some pretty good deals. Quest 3 supports advanced Wi-Fi 6E, and it's one of the standout features of this headset. This enables faster, more stable wireless connections that improve streaming, online gaming, and wireless PC VR gaming using Airlink or virtual desktop. But one thing that you need to know is that you can't take advantage of Wi-Fi 6E high speeds unless you have a Wi-Fi 6E compatible router. Without it, the headset will default to older Wi-Fi standards, which will lead to slower speeds, higher latency, and less reliable performance. Wi-Fi 6E operates on 6 GHz band, and it offers less interference and more bandwidth compared to the 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz bands. So if you're upgrading to the Quest 3 and you want the best wireless experience, then make sure that you also invest in a compatible router. Color pass-through. While it looks nearly perfect in YouTube videos and mixed reality game trailers, it's actually quite different from what you actually see with your eyes when you put on the headset. In reality, the pass-through image will look a bit grainy with some noticeable fuzzing, some warping around the edges, and a muted color palette compared to real life. I tested pass-through quality on both Quest 3 and Quest 3S in a separate video, and while both are much better than previous Quest models, the external cameras simply aren't designed to perfectly replicate the quality of human vision. The cameras on Quest 3 prioritize functionality over fidelity, and they're balancing the need for real-time depth sensing and spatial mapping with the constraints of the hardware. This focus on processing speed means that the pass-through image can sometimes distort objects and create somewhat uneven depth perception and the graininess, especially in low-light environments or with highly textured surfaces. Don't get me wrong, it's still an extremely impressive technology, but don't expect to see the same crystal clear image in mixed reality or pass-through that you see in video recordings of the mixed reality game. It's slimmer, but the weight distribution still matters. One of the biggest selling points of Quest 3 that you might have heard of is that Quest 3 is 30% slimmer than its predecessor Quest 2. This was achieved primarily due to its pancake lenses, which significantly reduced the headset's profile compared to Quest 2's Fresnel lenses, and making it noticeably thinner and lighter. Although it's true, and the headset is definitely 30% slimmer, it still doesn't fix the problem of its front heaviness, because this entire headset is basically located at the front, and this headset is being held up to your face using just the stock soft strap which comes in the box, and it doesn't really do the best job distributing the weight evenly on your head, and it affects overall comfort. Surely it is more comfortable than Quest 2 right out of the box, but for a true comfortable experience that will allow you to play for hours without being uncomfortable, without having headaches or marks on your face, you will need a counterweight, which can be provided by an upgraded strap. While you may go for an official strap or even a battery strap for enhanced battery life, those are pretty expensive. Personally, my favorite straps are the Kiwi straps. They have the Halo type strap and an Elite battery type strap for a more classical look. I covered them in a separate video on this channel, and they're both comfortable depending on whether you prefer the Halo design or the standard Elite type of design. They also provide some extra battery, and it feels great, and it's awesome to have this extra battery life so that you don't get interrupted while playing because your battery dies. A different battery strap that I really love is the Bobo VR Halo strap. Is different from Kiwi because it has a removable hot swappable battery at the back, which means that if you have two batteries, you can simply swap them on the go and you don't need to remove your headset to charge the battery if you want to play. It kind of gives you the ultimate non-stop gaming experience. I will leave links to all these straps down below in the description, so feel free to check them out. Maybe one of them will work for you. But I simply would not be able to play VR games comfortably without these third-party straps because once you try this level of comfort, it's just impossible to go back to the standard stock strap. One more thing that no one from Meta will tell you before buying Quest 3 is just how confusing it can be to navigate all of the menus inside it. Not only are there dozens of menu options that are hidden within settings, subsettings, toggles, drop-downs, and groups, but the user interface changes what seems to be as often as every month. The latest update alone, version 72, has changed the user interface and the settings grouping so much that it made most of my previous videos featuring those settings outdated because they are not located where they used to be located anymore. It's crazy. It's almost as if as soon as you kind of remembered where some of those settings were, they've suddenly changed their position and you will need to find them all over again. There's a lot of them. There's regular settings, there are also some experimental settings that they keep adding, and sometimes they move them from experimental to regular. Basically, yeah, it's a lot and it can be frustrating. That's why I've made multiple videos going through all the hidden and useful, cool settings that are hard to find inside your headset. So you're free to watch those videos even though the position of those settings may have changed a little bit. I probably will need to redo some of these videos at some point soon, but until then, please watch these videos that are talking about the most important settings that you need to turn on day one on owning your Quest, and also some tips and secrets that will help you take advantage of your Quest 3 fully. I'll see you there.